People, Deluded, I'm back again. I'm here with a special guest, someone I've wanted to do this with for a while. James, how you doing, man? I hope you're well and in good health.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Like we were saying off air, I mean, I'm losing my mind in lockdown, but everybody's got their health. I can't complain. I hope your family's all good and in good spirits as well, man.
Yeah, they're all good, thanks. What about yours?
Same, man, same. Like, everybody's good. Everybody's just watching Netflix and all of these sort of things, man. Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Hmm.
Good.
What you been doing to pass the time during lockdown anyways?
I've been playing a lot of PS4 and Netflix, obviously. Obviously, I'm not usually at home a lot because I live in Manchester and my football's in Liverpool, so I'm always traveling and I'm always there. So I feel like it's been a good time to spend time with my family, innit?
It's almost, I won't go as far to say a blessing in disguise because none of us want this. But like you said, you're always about and having to do things. You can stop and be with your family and do them precious moments because you're only going to get less time as you keep advancing as a professional footballer. I take it.
Yeah, very true. Because I think I'm going into digs soon, so I won't be able to live at home as much. So this time I'm gonna be something that I'll look back on and be like, yeah, I'm glad I got to spend it with my family.
I see the way you mentioned PlayStation, but not FIFA, man. We need to play. I need to smack you off at that game, my guy.
I'm the best. I'm the go at FIFA.
Oh, you're humble with the football ability, but you're talking mad with the FIFA skills. I see you.
Yeah, FIFA's something that I can't debate on.
I've loved the confidence, man. What you been doing in terms of football? Have you been doing anything to tick over? You been going on runs, doing any drills in your garden? What you been on?
I got injured just before lockdown with a little ankle injury. So then it's been a time for me to also heal and that. So I've been doing my rehab at home. Obviously it's not ideal, but I do my rehab at home and I've been doing obviously workouts in other places of obviously my core, my uppers and stuff, which is not to do with football, but will help me when I get back to my fitness and hopefully soon I'll be back running.
It's nice to see that your injury is giving you time to work on other parts of your game. Regarding your injury, how serious is it? How long you been out for with it?
I did it in February. It was my last game was in February, and then I've been out for 3 months now. So it was quite bad, but nothing's really happened. I've not missed out on anything, have I? So lockdown and all this is a blessing in disguise, as you said, for me.
How did you get the injury? How did it happen?
A tackle against Man City. Bad tackle.
Okay. Is this your first sort of serious injury in your career so far?
No, I had a knee injury in 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I had a knee injury, and that was was quite bad. But then I came back from it well, so I know how to deal with all this. I've been through it before, you see.
Mentally, how did you take it? Because obviously you've been for a couple of years now, but this season, you're doing your thing at Liverpool. You're gonna be full time next year. You're playing and starring for the 18s. You're playing well and stuff, and then you get this injury. And how did you deal with it mentally? What was your feelings when it happened? You almost were shot down while you was getting flying.
Yeah, I was frustrated. I didn't really know what to do, but I just had to think. I did a lot of sessions with my physio and a lady at Liverpool works on the mental side of the game, and she helped me get through the negative thoughts and everything, and we started thinking positively and all the things that we could do once I get back on the pitch, and that calmed me down a bit. Doing a session on that.
That's good, man. It's nice to see you've got great mental strength. So it's like you've seen an injury, you was disappointed, but you got yourself going again. And yeah, man, it's a blessing in disguise in that, you're at the start of your career. Sad to say, but injuries are part and parcel of being a footballer. It will be second nature to you next time round. But speaking of football, you're at Liverpool. You've been at a couple of clubs before. When did you start kicking ball? When, who got you into it?
My dad's a big football fan. Obviously when I was young, I've always kicked things, little things, not even a ball, just kick things. When I was 5, that's when my parents took me to a little soccer school sort of thing. So I started playing football properly at 5.
Was you at a grassroots club for long before obviously the academy stuff came calling?
I was at a grassroots team called Failsworth West, and they had some ballers in that team, and lots of academy players that in my age group came from that team. Yeah, it was a top team. That.
Let's take it. You lot were mashing up every tournament, winning every league, winning everything possible, man.
We went in the unbeaten season in under eights, unbeaten.
Wow.
It was just, I loved it, me.
That's a madness. So when did you first find your way into your first footballing academy? When did you first get scouted?
I got scouted playing there was this thing called City in the Community, and they went to my primary school when I was I don't even know, I was very young, and we was doing a PE lesson in primary school, and the City in the Community coach was like, "Oh, we want you to come down to City for a little thing, kickabout, because obviously they liked the way that I was playing in the playground in the PE sessions." So that's when I got scouted, and I was just like, I think I was about 6 or 7 when that happened.
And this was for City, right? Do you remember much about your trial at that period, like when you went to City down to see what it's like in that?
I feel like I can't remember that much. I was so young in it, so it was just, I don't know. I just remember lots and lots of kids. It wasn't just a small group; it was a big group, and like a few of them, as time went on, a few of them like started not leaving, but they were no longer in the program. You know what I mean? They just filled away, and then it became like a proper thing. You see?
That makes sense. How long was you at City for, bro?
I think I was at City for 5 years. Since I started City at 6, and then I left at 12.
Wow, 6 years, 7 years basically. Wow.
Yeah.
And you learned a lot. I mean, you've learned a lot. You've gone through a lot. It must have taken a heavy heart and been a massive decision to leave Man City, because people like me, I would love to be in your position to play for City, let alone leave a team like City and stuff. Without going into details too much for obvious reasons, what made you want to leave Man City?
Well, like, I thought like the pathway at City is like completely blocked compared to other places, because they have so much talent in one group, and it's like not so much concentrated on individuals. Like, that's how I felt at the time. And I feel like my parents played a key role, because they were what's best for me. So they didn't think that City was the best for me at that time. So they like convinced me, and like they just saw the best in the other clubs, and they thought, yeah, I think we should use this time to move on. Even though I'm a Manchester lad, in it, so I didn't like moving away from home and anything. I didn't like the idea of it. But when I looked at it in perspective, it was like my career, obviously, hopefully my career, over than just playing for like the team that I've grown up around. Do you know what I mean? I had to think about it in the bigger picture, what's best for me individually.
And it's nice to hear that, man. It's nice to hear you're so focused on your future. It's testament to your family as well. They've got your best interests at heart. Many people would have just stayed at City. It was difficult to leave. Was Liverpool the only team that was interested in you? Was it just a case of A to B, or?
No, there was the other two like big North clubs in like Everton and United, but I could have gone to there, but I chose Liverpool, obviously, for like the history and like what the scout was telling my mum and everything, and my dad. So I felt like that was the best decision, and it's been great since.
Do you remember much about going to Liverpool for the first time?
The first time I went, there was a game for like, I think the under 18s, and I was watching, and I was like, I was just in, not the stands, but like I was high up, and I was just watching. And I was like, oh yeah, this will hopefully be you, and all this, and playing for the team. And look, everyone's watching. It's live on TV, because they have this like live TV on that thing, and I was just really inspired to like
do well.
Be there, do well, and it just like convinced me, sort of. That was the first time I went there.
So what's impressed you since you've been at Liverpool? Like, what particular? I know there's a lot of impressive things, but if you had to say one, what's impressed you the most about your time there?
I feel like the club is like so so together and everything, and like everyone's like part of like one big project, like project basically, and it's
Mm.
like a good community and everything. It's so like good working environment. It's just everyone's working hard. It's a place where people can thrive in it. So that's
Mm.
top about Liverpool.
What would be the key? Sorry, people. James, are you good? Technical difficulties there.
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks.
All right, good. I thought I lost you for a sec. Oh, that makes sense, man. How good does it feel being at Liverpool, though? Because for me, if I was sitting in your shoes, I would have hella confidence. Because as long as you work hard, because you know you've got a great manager, you've got a pathway. You're seeing Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones get chances, so it's decent. Have you trained with the first team much?
No, not yet, but hopefully I was on that sort of route because a few of the coaches that have been watching all the under-18s games and things, and they've seen a few things from a couple of people that they've liked, and hopefully I would have been on that route, obviously. But obviously, as a younger one, it's a bit like you don't want too much too soon. You know
Or
what I
wait your
mean?
time, sort of thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Have you spoken to Klopp before?
No, not yet, not yet.
Mm.
But hopefully soon.
Hopefully, God willing, man. God willing. So yeah, man, we can't not talk about your season. How do you think yours? Because yeah, it's been a bit bittersweet looking at as someone that's a fan of yours because you've been killing it. You've had an injury. How would you describe your season? How it went from a personal and a collective?
For my season, like went better than I expected at the start because obviously as under 16, I thought, oh, I'm gonna try. My target for the start of this season was to like break into the under 18 squad and everything, but I didn't know that I was gonna do that so soon. So then, obviously, when I was in pre-season, I played like one or two games. No, played one game, and then next you know, straight up with the 18s, and I was just like, oof. And then I played the rest of pre-season, and I've been with them for almost the whole season now. So I just thought that my season's been like better than what I expected. You know what I mean? I thought it would have took me a lot longer, but thankfully it didn't, and I got to get so many different experiences playing with them.
I mean, I'm proud of you. You should be proud of yourself, man. You've worked hard and you're smashing it, man. You're literally smashing. I'm really happy to see that. Obviously, this season I've seen you score some good goals. I've seen you do some good assists, and when you haven't been scoring or assisting, you've made the difference. But obviously, I'd like to ask you yourself, what do you feel has been your best and worst game this season? Because I think you were solid against Newcastle, but that might not be where you go.
I think against Newcastle, I think I played really well, but because I was playing further forward, I like got more stats and everything, and that's important in football, getting stats. But then other games where I think that I've also played well, I've been playing in different positions. For example, against like Derby, I played on the out wide. I was like creating and beating my man 1v1, so I felt like I played really well that game. And for example, Sunderland, I played in defensive midfield actually, and I played really. It was 4-0. The scoreline, didn't like concede any goals. Played well,
Perfect
built up
performance.
from the back, everything. So I feel like that was another good game for me. And worst game, um, I wouldn't say I've had like a outstanding bad game, but probably. No, I'm not too sure. I've not had one where I specifically think that's been terrible. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
So I couldn't really say.
That's fair enough. It makes sense, man. You know, you mentioned you've played out wide, you've played behind the striker, you've mentioned defensive mid. I know you as an outsider looking in, you've got the capabilities to do it all. You're very good technically, you can link up play, you're very good positionally. And I know you're more than willing to play wherever you want because you've got a good attitude. But if you had your own way or an ideal world, where do you feel most comfortable? What sort of midfielder do you want to develop in or play, or if not necessarily in central midfield?
Hopefully, I'd love to play as like I'd love to play number 10 because it's more like doing creative stuff and that. But I think I'd be best as a number 8 because I can do a little bit of everything. Be there, here, there, everywhere. Like attack, go forward, defend, help the team, things like that. So I feel like I'd be best as a number 8. But I'd love to play number 10 or anything in midfield, really, like centrally, really in midfield. That's what I'd like to do.
Obviously, you mentioned central midfield. I know you obviously have some players if you don't necessarily look up to them, you try and model your game on or take pieces from. What sort of midfielders are they for you?
My favourite player is Kevin De Bruyne because I just think he's just unreal, really. He's just the way he moves, the way he works hard, the way he crosses, passes, left foot, right foot, and the way he thinks about the game. And obviously, I love a lot of other players too. Like I like Modric, Thiago. Thiago's such a baller that not many people give him credit for, but I think he's just a top player. And obviously, Fernandinho and Fabinho and Wijnaldum, all top players.
Good, some good names there. Some good names. Obviously, you're very much a self-reflecting guy. What would you say are your strengths and weaknesses as a footballer, and if not necessarily weaknesses, things you could work on and polish a bit better?
My strengths. I say one of my biggest strengths is like my brain, because obviously in football you use a lot of the brain, and like I like to be clever in the way I play. You know what I mean? So like, and I think my brain has allowed me to play in many different positions because I'm very versatile and that. So that helps me. And say if I need to get into a team and the manager looks and says, "Oh yeah, he can play here or he can play here," I think that helps me a lot compared to other people. And then also weaknesses, I say everything in that about my game can be improved. Like everything, not a weakness, but everything can be improved. But for now, I'd say the standout for now is probably say my left foot, because I'd love personally to be able to do everything on my right foot, everything on my left foot that I can do on my right foot, because that's just like something that I personally value a lot. Not like everyone doesn't have to be able to do the same on both foot or both feet, but for me, I feel like it'd be not a cheat code, but it'd be something that I'd use very well.
That'd be a shout, man. And it's interesting you say that you're the first guy I've done this with that's actually mentioned weaker foot. That's why I like to ask you a lot, because you get a lot of crazy different answers and things like that. Obviously, talk to me about coming through an academy. Now, obviously, you've been at City. That's tough in itself. You're at Liverpool. That's tough in itself. How do you deal with the cutthroat nature? Because obviously coming from the academy, you've obviously seen friends like at City, you've probably had friends that were equally there as long as you get cut loose. You know already how the journey of parents taking people to games is, and it can sometimes not come with a reward. How pressurized is that environment? How do you deal with people constantly coming on trial? How do you stay focused and not, go sideways?
But I feel like the football is like such a tough sport to get into for anyone, because nothing's guaranteed, you see. So like when you're playing, it's like there's a pressure of, oh, what if I'm not doing well with this, because anything can change in click of the fingers. So basically what I do is I just try, as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I feel like that will always help. And as long as I'm giving my all, I can always say, right, if I wasn't good enough for say, I'd just be like, at least I tried my best. You know what I mean? So as long I just try to cope with it, all the ruthless nature of football, I cope with it by just trying my best and trying to enjoy playing the game. Because as long as you enjoy it, good things will happen.
Quality answer, quality response. Obviously, you've got a lot of experience already playing for an academy. Is there a particular player that stands out for you that you've played against, or a particular team you've played against, and you thought, you know what, this man's a baller, that team's a baller, sort of thing?
I played against last season. I played against Jude Bellingham, against Birmingham in what was it called? A little trophy, and he scored 4 in the final, and it was a final of a little cup competition. And I just thought, wow, I was playing out wide that day, and he was playing in midfield, and he was something that I thought, wow, what a player, you know what I mean? And also teams, I feel like Man City this year, under 18s team, they've been quite good. And yeah, they're something that you can look at as when you play against them. Wow, how they do this, something that you can learn from.
Great answer. You mentioned Bellingham. Now, you two are teammates at international level. I look at that whole England squad. I see your name, Baller. I see Jude Bell, Baller. I see Noah, Baller. I see Daniel, Baller. Charlie, Baller. There's a lot of... How does it feel to be part of a promising group of players? Because I think you're all going to go off to have good careers.
It's all blessed, really. When you see all the names and everything and all the players, it's just it makes life easier because of the quality that each and every one of the players has. Because you say you give it to one person, they do something special. Like, wow, look, I don't have to do much. You know what I mean? Like, it's a special environment to be a part of. You know what I mean?
How's it different from club football, though? I've always wondered that. Like, how's it like? Is there any beyond the obvious? Is there any differences, like tactically? How do you work with teammates you don't typically play with week in, week out, and stuff like that?
I think at the club, you know everything about everyone. You know what I mean? So you can predict things what are gonna happen, but like when you're playing with all these like players, it's like things are unpredictable. So you're just trying to everyone's trying to do their own bit to like showcase how good they are and things like that. So it's like it's a lot different. I'd say it's a lot different, but how to like describe it is a bit difficult.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Take me back to academy football briefly. Obviously, you're playing for under 18s now. You've done your thing. You're going to be a scholar full time next year. But when you made that first debut, or even that first pre-season game we spoke on earlier, what shocked you about under 18s football? Was it the pace, the strength, decision making? What was it?
The pace and strength was a lot like bigger, like compared to under 16 football, and also the speed of the game. Like the speed of the game increased like massively compared to under 16 football. But as well as that, like the tactics that you get told in like under 16s or under 18s is a lot more serious. You know what I mean? Like because under 18s league football, there's points on the line and things like that. So everything becomes more amplified.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure you've played for the 23s, right? At a point.
In like training session, training games and that, yeah, but not in like a proper fixture.
What's it like training with the 23s?
Everything like you don't want to be stuck in the rondos boxes and things like that. Everything's a lot quicker and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense. Finally, I'd love to ask you this, yeah. Obviously, you've played for 2 academies. You're still trying to become a professional footballer outright. What would you say is the most important thing you need to have as a young player? Is it technical? Is it mental? Is it resilience? What would you say it would be?
I feel like coming through, you need to have like a bit of everything. Like you have to have a strong mental side of the game. Technical is important. Physical is important eventually. Not maybe when you're young, but eventually becomes more important. But having a bit of everything and also trying to make yourself stand out from other players and always keeping that drive to like become better will help young players a lot.
I know I said final question, but you just said something that made me want to ask you. Obviously, when you play for academy or international football, you have to find that balance of, playing for the team, learning with the tactics and stuff, but also showing what you can do, as you said. How do you balance that without either being too greedy or not doing enough? How do you balance that?
I feel like you just got to know the right times to try. I think obviously in club football, it's not as pressured because it's like a secured environment. But like you got to have confidence and belief in your own ability that you're able to do different things and try different things, and obviously that will help you stand out from other players.
That makes sense, man. James, first and foremost, I have to say a big thank you for doing this. I mean, it's something we've tried to do for a while. Generally, it really means a lot. And you've given me and a lot of people that will watch this a lot of knowledge, man. Hopefully the injury, is as quick as possible and we can keep tracking your progress and we're celebrating more successes with you, my guy. God willing.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on there as well.
No worries, man. Anytime, man. Anything you need, I'm there, man. But let me not take up any more of your time.
Cheers. Thank you.
Take care, man.